Good evening. I'm Joe Netherworld. I'm here with your daily tarot card reading for Friday, April 11th, 2014. The year should be pretty evident, I hope. And I have on my desk the portrait bust that I produced with my company, the House of Netherworld, of Anton LaVey. It's actually Anton LaVey's birthday today. Dr. LaVey, to those who knew him, and the original and founder of the Church of Satan, and I can't say a friend of mine. I barely knew him towards the end of his life. I'm kind of a last chapter kind of guy, but there's a whole ongoing story of my life and my involvement with the Church of Satan. I won't get into right here, but it's his birthday, and every year on his birthday, I tend to plant a tree or a plant and something that's of a permanence that every year gets bigger and stronger and more beautiful and interesting, along those lines there. And I think, as an aside, and I want to make a little point of some witchcraft and science combined, is that the best thing you can do with someone's passing is to plant something, a tree specifically, or something more permanent than you'll be and everyone will be, that that 100 years from now, the tree might, we don't know how the world is going, we don't know where we're going to be, but we do know that it has a longevity, and many of the things I've planted in honor of, of many different people have come to grow into different and stranger and more elegant and beautiful things, and they're sort of telling a story of the person's life. It's a reminder. It's a happy reminder, and sometimes somber. You can have one of those days where you just sort of don't want to be reminded, but or I can't say that, right? It's a sort of thing where, like, some days the reminder is a little more poignant, but it's always there, and it's always something to also to care for and to be involved with, because there is a point where sometimes we lose that care we have for the person because they're not here physically for us to care for them or to be involved with them. But by planting something, it always reminds us that they're still there and how they've affected us. We're still here. That's the thing. When someone passes, we have to live with the fact that we're still here. They've moved on and beyond, and they've lost the and gladly have lost the bonds of being mortal, and have moved on. Their energy has returned to the universe. They've become more, and I am doing a horrible job shuffling today, but that's okay. We're going to get right to this card reading. I'm going to move these cards around. Sometimes the oldest fashioned way to is just jumble the cards up, move them around, throw them out into this, and this card is just jumped, and when a jumper comes, all right, this is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a great card. It's about the supremacy of finance over all other things. It's about success in the financial realms, money, finance, and it's the Star card too. Pentacles always a star, and that's a badge of honor and a badge of accomplishment. So we have today, and it's also an interesting card. This is a card that references the late summer. It is a not a springtime card. It's a post-blooming season, still vibrant, but sort of a later summer card, which would be apropos for today, in that the summer, as we peak in the summer of our lives, and towards the end of the summer we enter the autumn of our lives, where we kind of reap what we sow and bring in hopefully all the good things we've produced our whole lives, and we get to kind of enjoy that part. So that's our main card of the day, the Ace of Pentacles. It's sometimes going to be harsh though, because it will push other things aside so that our finances, our success can win out, and that success sometimes pushes love and relationships a little to the side too. So that's an energy to be considered today. Today's more about your personal success and your goals and what you're trying to reach than anything involving partnerships or groups, romance, things like that, friendships. So let's see what our secondary card though is. Our two cards on the side of this will give us what this is all really about. But I'm going to pull this card. I like this card, and it is the Lovers. Aha, that is and the Lovers is a good card, but it represents a single-mindedness and a sort of all you could see is the other person. You kind of forsake and forego a lot of the world for that person. So it could be a little obsessive. And I'm going to grab this card. No, I want this card. This card. Aha. This is very interesting. Now, this tells the story. This is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a hard work. It means big gains type of card, but you only get paid for what you do. What that is showing me is that this story right here, if it's the day of the Ace of Pentacles, and it's really about winning, getting new jobs, financial accomplishments, financial decisions. That's the prime directive if you work for the day. But you have the Lovers on one side conflicting with the Eight of Pentacles, which represents hard work. It's a very good card. It's very down to earth. It shows a cobbler, which is very basic, a shoemaker type of energy. Well, not a type of energy. It's a shoemaker. It's what it's showing. And it's like, you know what? You get paid for what you do. You make 10 pairs of shoes. You get paid for 10 pairs of shoes. That's very simple. It's all about big money all around you, that your workplace is very successful, that your world is very positive. But then counteracting that is the obsessive lovers thing, where sometimes the obsessive nature of only wanting to be with the other person, that you don't have any other value for anything else. It's obsessive teenage love. It's sometimes it's about the other partner, your partner in this love affair, trying to get between you and your work and pushing their way in and taking you away from your work. And today is not a day to let that happen. Today you might be confronted with a very interesting scenario where your where your success and your triumphs can be taken away from you by someone pushing you literally out of your workplace because they want to be with you, they need to be with you, not because they're so in love with you, but they're so obsessed with you, controlling. It's kind of a very, not passive-aggressive, it's just aggressive need to know where you are, because you complete them. I know that sounds tacky, you complete me, but what it does mean is that, and then by you completing that, it means they can't survive without you, and that is sort of a dangerous place to be. So today, I'd have to say, if you were to choose one over the other, you have to choose your success over that. Now, if it's a day of just an average working day, there's no reason to get too worked up about it. But if you have things to do and things are presented to you that would change your career and change your success in this life, you have to make that decision. You're like, look, I can't come running home when you pick the phone. Anytime you call me, anytime you need me, I'm not going to come running. So that's today. Today's not that day, because it's almost like they sense that there's a change coming, that you're growing and becoming more, and they want to almost stop that, sabotage that. So keep that in mind today when we deal with that. And also keep in mind this is Anton Szandor LaVey's birthday, and that you should go out and plan something. Take time for anything today. Take time to plan something that will grow and succeed and live beyond you, which is a great business model. That's why it's very interesting that today's cards represent, a business model, not really so much a lifetime model. Like plant a firm foundation, put a seed, something in the ground that's going to grow. And every year you can nurture it and make it stronger and better, and that is yours. It's not a group thing, it's a singular thing, and you do it in reference to someone who's fallen, a spirit guide, if you will. Someone that's no longer here, but is here in your heart, that motivates you and makes you move forward. That's more important than the Lover's card today, that physical need. And it can be tempting, and sometimes we can fall into that trap where it makes us feel loved and supported. But when you really look at it, well, they really don't want me to go that much farther than where I am. So keep that in mind today. And I'll be here again, as always, around midnight with a reading for tomorrow, which will be, well, not tomorrow, I'm doing tomorrow's now. The day after that, which would be April 12th. We're moving quickly through April, and April's got a lot of energy about creation this year and getting things done. But don't waste time. This is a foundation month. What you do in April will set up May, June, and July. So you're getting one, get you three. But like if you don't do that now, then you're not going to catch up with yourself, and it's going to end up being August before you get a break again. So keep that in mind. April's a very important month for doing things and organizing things and planting something. So I'll leave you with a few moments of silence. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to push my magic button, and I'm going to say, have a great night, have a magical day. Remember Anton LaVey today, and we'll see you around midnight.